Hi, I'm Emily. I've been training to be a building inspector for 2 years now. I originally started in an admin role, but I've always been keen to progress my career, and this has been a perfect opportunity for me to do so. The course is a 5-year apprenticeship degree for a BSc in building control. Most days you are shadowing a registered building inspector and learning the role. Then 1 day a week is dedicated to uni work. I'm a very practical learner, so the process of learning on the job really works well for me. You get 2 modules per semester with weekly activities of reading, research, watching videos and webinars, some live and some recorded. You work at your own pace and you have a variety of assessments throughout. It's mostly coursework based with a few online tests. The final stage is an endpoint assessment based on the case studies you've built up along the way. Uni provide a lot of academic support. Each student gets an apprentice outcomes officer who you get to meet with every few months. They help you review your progress, set future goals, get managers' feedback, and they guide you through the general process too. Work have been extremely supportive throughout the whole process. Everybody is super encouraging and understanding of my position. There are a number of us that have now joined the programme, and although we're all at different stages, it's nice to have a group of people with similar position to you. We try to have regular catch-up meetings to discuss how we're getting on in the role and any uni work matters as well. I love going out on site, and everyone has been so encouraging. Each inspector I've gone out with has had nothing but time and patience for me. I never feel silly for asking questions, and I ask a lot, but everyone really encourages that, so it's a positive environment to be around. I like seeing different people's ways of working because it's useful when you're trying to find your feet in managing your own new routine. Most of the contractors and site managers don't seem to mind going into extra detail for my benefit. Working from the Birmingham office has given me exposure to some massive projects. I've been to hospitals, huge industrial units, large office buildings. One I found particularly interesting was a huge student accommodation site. They were erecting 900 apartments over several blocks, so as you can imagine, this site was massive. But they used different construction methods across the whole site. There was a variety of steel frame buildings, but I found the concrete ones most interesting. They poured each floor level one at a time and essentially moved up the building using the same shutters and craned the concrete up ready to pour in place. Then once they were formed, they installed temporary balconies so that a different crane could drop materials to each compartment for the internal works. Pre-built toilet pods were even rolled into place for each apartment. Seeing the different design elements on specific projects is very interesting. A lot of the most carefully considered design decisions are ones that you don't notice after the building is completed, and it's not always building regs related. For example, when dealing with projects that involve mental health care facilities, the use of colours and decorative features can provide a calming and welcoming environment for the end users. The building regs are obviously an important part of the role, but there's so much more to know. I used to think I'd be able to read through one of the approved documents and learn the job, but that's not the way it works. The regulations make more sense as your experience grows, and when you think about it logically, a lot of the information should be common sense to make sure a building is safe. But until I'd come across these elements, I probably wouldn't have given it much thought. I've been quite surprised about some of the follow-up facts I've learned. For example, egress windows are often described as escape windows. But actually, these dimensions are designed around the measurements of firefighting equipment. They were intended to enable firefighters to enter the building for rescue. Similarly, the 45-metre rule for firefighters' access is based on the length of the fire hose. Although I do love the big projects and find them really exciting, it's amazing to see how many people adapt their homes in the domestic projects too. I think my favourite projects will always be barn conversions. I always loved them anyway, so I found it really fascinating to see the process of repurposing and renovating these old buildings. I'm really enjoying this course, and if you'd like to find out more about this route towards becoming an RBI, please get in touch. Thanks.